Welcome back to BHookedCrochet.com. I'm your host Brittany. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to do the bullion stitch the easy way so that you have a perfect stitch every single time. For this tutorial, you're going to need any worsted weight yarn. I'll be working with a size 6mm hook. However, you can work with any size hook that's going to coordinate with your yarn. And you're also going to need my secret weapon to make the perfect bullion stitch, and that is a latch hook. So the bullion stitch is one of those stitches where there's probably going to be many different types of patterns that include the bullion stitch. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to demonstrate how to do the bullion stitch with the latch hook so that you have a perfect stitch every single time. So basically what I've done off camera is I've just created a foundation row with 14 single crochets. Once you have your foundation, go ahead and make 2 chains. And that's because bullion stitches are pretty tall. Okay, so you want to just pull up on your working strand and remove your crochet hook. We're not going to be using that for this next row. And you want to insert the loop now onto your latch hook, and we're just going to turn our work just like we normally would, and we're going to start by making 1 bullion stitch into every stitch. You'll find various different patterns that call for bullion stitches that are different height or that use a different number of loops. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using 7 loops. So I'm going to wrap the working yarn around the latch hook 7 times. And you'll notice I did that very loose, and that's key to getting a perfect bullion stitch. You want to make sure those loops can move freely up and down the latch hook. So from here, you'll just insert your latch hook into the stitch that you want to work into. Then grab the working yarn and make sure your latch hook is going to close. So you can pull it through the stitch. Now just pull that loop all the way down. Grab the working yarn again and make sure your latch hook closes, and make sure it stays closed throughout this process. We're going to pull it through those first 2, and then I typically rotate it, and then I'll use my fingers to help get the remaining loops down. Now it's very important you make sure that your latch hook stays closed. Now to finish off the stitch, just pull that loop on down, then you'll yarn over again, and then pull that loop through the loop on the hook. And that's how you make a perfect bullion stitch every single time. We'll go through that again. Wrap the yarn 7 times, insert the hook into the next stitch, grab the working yarn, pull it through. Now grab the working yarn and pull it all the way through. And make a chain to finish it off. Now this does take a little bit of practice. Working with the latch hook can be a little bit tricky, but once you do a row or so, then you'll find that it gets much easier. So we just want 7 wraps. Okay, so we'll go through this just a couple more times. And that's really all there is to it. This is so much easier than the traditional way of doing the bullion stitch, where you're just using your crochet hook. Now, one thing that you will notice about the bullion stitch, if we turn our work over, you'll notice that it's not really reversible. Now, I guess it is in some aspects. You can see the coils, but you can also see the strand from the chain. So I actually have a swatch worked up that I worked off camera. And if you want to do this particular pattern, basically all I did was started with a foundation row of single crochet, then I made a row of bullion stitch, then I made a row of single crochet and a row of bullion stitch, and that was really the pattern repeat. So you can really demonstrate what it looks like on the back side with a swatch that's this large. So you can really see those lines. And honestly, it's a pretty cool design element. If that's something you're going for, then maybe you would have this your right side. I hope you found this demonstration on the bullion stitch very useful. As I mentioned, when you're using the latch hook, you can make a perfect bullion stitch every single time, just like you see here. To discover cool ways and new patterns that use the bullion stitch, please visit BHookedCrochet.com, and you can find the link to this pattern in the description below. Stay tuned for more free patterns and video tutorials at BHookedCrochet.com.